Well, hello. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Coffee with Steven. So, this week's blog is entitled Casablanca. I'm fairly confident that the majority of you have probably seen the famous movie Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart. For those of you who haven't, you have a required viewing list for this weekend. It's one of, if not my actual favorite movie of all time, probably tying in with a close second to Local Heroes starring Peter Riegert. That's an entirely different blog. But this one, the Casablanca, is unique and it's interesting, not because of Humphrey Bogart's character, which most people gravitate towards, or even Ingrid Bergman's character, or the character of Victor Laszlo, which most people see as being sort of the heroic figure of the entire movie. Rather, it's Claude Rains' character of Inspector Renault, Captain Renault. And for those of you who don't remember Casablanca, Captain Renault is part of the French police force, the gendarmes, in Casablanca during World War II. And as such, he's part of Vichy France. And he's a thoroughly morally bankrupt character, right? I mean, he uses his power and his influence to extract all sorts of concessions from usually vulnerable women, typically married women. He's charming, somewhat endearing, but beneath that lies a really dark storyline. But at the end of the movie, literally the very last scene, he acts in an extraordinarily moral way, setting the tone for what he and Humphrey Bogart are ultimately going to do together. And it's that arc, it's that existing in a level of moral ambiguity, and then ultimately making what he at least considers to be the correct moral decision, is, I think, the important part of Casablanca. So it's an interesting blog, and I really do encourage you to read it. It will be on the website at www.artemishq.com/blog on Wednesday morning at 7:30. As always, feel free to comment on it, especially if you have your own ideas about Casablanca or Humphrey Bogart. And as always, I want you to train constantly, train consistently, train repetitively, and train with purpose. Above all else, stay safe.